Hi, everyone. It's Front Row Phyllis. Well, what happens when tabletop role play games combine with live theater? An interactive experience like no other. The 20-Sided Tavern is an interactive performance inspired by Dungeons and Dragons, where the audience decides the outcome. The audience selects everything from the characters in the performance, the path they take, and even the choices they make along the way. All these decisions will be made from the phones of the audience members and result in a unique adventure every time. Well, joining us today are some of the cast and creators. David Andrew Greener Laws. Can we add any more names to that, please? AKA Daigle, welcome. And Sarah Davis Reynolds. Thank you guys for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, can we jump right in? What do you want the viewers, to know before they enter into this incredible experience?
We want them to know.
Yeah.
We want them to know. You spread it out so well there. I mean, we want them to know is that it's a different adventure every night. It relies on their choices and their decisions, and it really is up to each individual as to how they want to interact. Like you said, there are moments where people are making decisions on phones. There are moments where people are calling out names. There are moments where people have the opportunity to come up on stage. But at every level, it's to the audience members' comfort and the way that they want to be involved.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the whole show is, it's a party and we're inviting everyone to it. And it is up to you of how you want to show up. If you want to show up in costume or if you want to sit and just make decisions on your phone, there's a whole wide range that you can show up to the party as.
Wow. Do they bring food to the party too?
I've heard the drinks at the bar are excellent.
Well, then I'm there for sure. I'm there for sure. How do you guys change the production and storyline every night? I mean, that's a lot of work.
Paper on the page is like 235 pages long, and obviously we're not seeing anywhere near that much every night. It's just about which paths we take, and some of those are based on the audience choices, some of those are based on the rolling of the dice. So some of it's luck, some of it's preparation, but it's really just by having built this world that we're going to explore so thoroughly.
Yeah, we've gone over a dozen rooms, over 30 tracked variables, 50 items they can get. And it's also impacted by the show that happened previously. So if the show the night before did a really good job, then it means the world that this night's audience is set up in is an easier world. The challenges are a little bit easier. But if the night before didn't do so well, there's more challenges this night. So that's what also kind of helps the story changes. Even though it's a similar structure, you might be going to different rooms, meeting new people, having harder challenges based on what has happened before.
The night before. Oh, I see. So if you were to give 3 words that best describe the production, what would it be? I know it's hard.
It's hard.
I'm letting you go first.
You're letting me go first. I want to say chaos, but I mean that in a good way, right?
Okay. Organized chaos.
It is a fun, organized chaos. It is a fun, enjoyable chaos, but it is definitely in the way that we don't know what's going to happen next. And, things are surprising at all times. We sort of embrace that chaoticness of it.
I think mine are silly, funny adventure, right? Because at the end of the day, it is a comedy. And at the very end of the day, it's a comedy with a lot of really wild, wacky, silly characters. But we also try really hard to embrace what's important to an adventure story, which are the emotional connections. There is danger, there are stakes. The characters could die over the course of the quest. So there's a lot riding on even this silly fantasy adventure.
Yeah.
Right. Wow. So will this technology be used on future productions?
Yeah, so we've been using it with the 20-Sided Tavern for about a year now and all the different productions that we've done with it. It is also used in a couple other things. The company Gamiotics uses the technology in a variety of other productions and museum experiences, things like that. But we'll keep using it. It allows us to have that direct connection to the audience so that they can make those choices. It also lets us have them solve riddles and compete in mini games. So it gives them a variety of ways to interact, which really helps deepen and enrich the storytelling that we're doing.
Right. So you guys have obviously been in a lot of different productions, completely different than this. So
Mhm.
how is this so different than anything? Did you ever think that you would be involved in something like this when you got into, especially when you got into entertainment and theater? I mean, and somebody said to you, this is what you're going to be doing. And you're like, really? How do I do that?
I mean, it's wild. If you had told, 10-year ago me that this is what I would be doing, I would not believe you. Because yeah, we get to go up there and do something that's so wild. It combines so many of our passions. A lot of us are actors and have been involved in theater for a long time, but we also play games on the side, or we do board games, video games, D&D, role playing games, and it's allowing us to combine all of those passions into one thing, which is truly wild. And I think that's what makes it so different than anything else I've been involved in. Is again that the surprising element of it, the nature of everything being so new and interactive. I'm surprised constantly every single show by something that the audience tells us or does, something that the actors do. And so it's never monotonous. I can't come and be on autopilot. I always have to show up 100% all the time. And it's really thrilling to do that.
Yeah, it's so much of what we have created to make this world comes out of our personal at-home games, right? Whether that's characters that we've played with before, or parts of the story world that are just from games we played at home. And so to see a map that I personally hand drew years ago, taken by a designer and blown up onto the big screen is really phenomenal. And like Sarah said, we have to be so focused and so present the whole time, which is a real gift as an actor. And at the end of the day, so little of it I consider actually acting, right? There are, some of the actors on stage are playing other characters, but especially for Sarah and I behind the bar, we're really just being ourselves on stage, which is a really comfortable and exciting position to be in.
Right. That's awesome. Well, thank you guys again. The 20-Sided Tavern, a production unlike anything you have ever seen, is playing now through January 15th at the Broadway Playhouse, and you don't want to miss this production. I am telling you, you need to get over there and see it. Thank you guys again.
Thank you so much.